Hello, welcome back to the Towel Boy, where we try to give you the cleanest takes in sports. Today we are doing another mock draft. It's the best time of the year. March Madness is right around the corner, so I thought, why not give a little bit of a pre-March Madness look, mock draft. So some players' stock is going to rise, some's going to fall. Lots going to happen. There's going to be a combine, all these different things. But it's going to be a fun way to kind of get the juices flowing. To me personally, March, the NBA kind of slows down because teams are tanking. Playoff teams are kind of coasting, and we're just waiting for the playoffs, right? So I like looking at college, looking at the prospects, see where we're going to go. So we're using Fanspo today. We're going to sim the lottery real quick for our mock draft, see if anything crazy happens, and if not, looks like the Nets fell. The Pacers get the number one pick, which is pretty exciting. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do every single team in the entire first round. We're gonna use the no ceilings draft board. I can't wait to post my personal big board, but I'm gonna wait until I feel more like 100% in it. Right, I want to keep looking at things before I post mine. So stay tuned for that. With the first overall pick in this draft, we got the Pacers. The Pacers, it would be so. You can make a case for all three of the top guys, right? Peterson, Boozer, DeBonsa. Personally, I'm a Boozer number one guy. I think Boozer is the guy for me that I think he's the best prospect. But Peterson, I do think might have the highest upside. Pairing him with Halliburton is quite exciting, right? They got Zubac to be the pick and roll guy with Halliburton. I think Peterson would thrive off ball with his shooting ability with Halliburton. So I'm going to go Darren Peterson with his first overall pick to the Indiana Pacers. Him and Halliburton, I think, could be the best backcourt in the Eastern Conference in just a few years. That's pretty exciting right there. Then the Kings next up, they need pretty much everything, right? They obviously would have loved the number one pick to get Peterson. I think would be the best fit for them. I think a lot of people are going to say AJ DeBonsa. I'm going to go Cam Boozer to the Kings. Overall, very, very good player. Um, how is his fit going to be next to Sabonis? I don't really care. I don't think it would be the best fit, obviously, but I don't think Sabonis is long term. I think Boozer is going to be the equivalent of a winning player in the NBA, just like he has been in high school, just like he has been for Duke. I'm going to go Cameron Boozer to the Sacramento Kings. He's going to add some star power, just a solid overall basketball player. Um, and people who say he doesn't have star upside, I think, are ridiculous. I think he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA for a long time. I really do. I think he's the best player in this draft. And then the Jazz, I mean, it's a little clunky with Bailey, Markkinen, all those people, but they're going to go the best player available. Keep it Devonta in Utah. The star upside is there, right? A wing who can get to the line like he does, with his size, his athleticism is so intriguing. He's better than Ace Bailey is, definitely. How is they going to fit in a lineup? Who knows? But the Jazz are really building something. They're banking on Keontae George making that leap. They made that splash for Jaren Jackson. DeBonta feels like he should be that next superstar piece, and they're looking forward to keep competing in this Western Conference, this gauntlet of a conference. The Blazers are up to number 4. This is a tough one for me. They need a wing or a forward, which I mean, I think is kind of a weird fit with Denny. Um, but you know what? Really, no, it's not. They got Klingon, they have Denny, and I think Caleb Wilson slides perfectly actually in between that. So I take back all of what I was saying. Caleb Wilson slides in pretty well right there. I think he's a star upside as well, right? You see the shooting touch from the mid range at times. Uh, the outside shot isn't there yet. He hasn't been forced to take it. I think it'll develop over time, but he's just a monster defensively, monster on the glass, um, and he's just going to be one of these power forwards. I think that you see in that Jalen Johnson mold, right? Where not necessarily the exact same player, but just uber athletic, will be able to get out in transition. Uh, I think he's going to be a good defender. He's going to be able to be a really good bridge piece. And if the Blazers are looking to compete with Dame next year with Denny, I think Wilson's going to be able to contribute to winning now and in the future. With the 5th overall pick, we have the Wizards. They got Trey Young. They have Anthony Davis. They have Alex Sarr. Everything else, I'm not that high on the Wizards. I Trey Johnson's whatever. Koulibaly's that probably passed, right? You're looking at this team that they have here. There's not a lot that I personally am excited about, right? Bub Carrington is not someone that I'm too interested in. Keyshawn George, I think he's a solid player. I do think Keyshawn George will be a solid player, but he's not a franchise guy. So who are you going to take with this pick? I think it's going to be the guy that you um, think can be the most successful learning to eventually take over for Trey Young. To me, that is Kingston Fleming's point guard out of Houston. He's my point guard number one in this class. I think you can play him at the two next to Trey Young because I think he does have on ball and off ball defensive potential. I think he is all of the tools in the world to be your lead guard for a franchise. Learning from a guy like Trey Young, learning how to play with a top 75 player like Anthony Davis, I think this is a pretty good landing spot for Kingston Flemings. So Flemings going number 5 to the Wizards. The Nets have fallen to the sixth pick. I think they need a lead guard. I think Jaeger Dimon or Joman is definitely more of a wing shooter, creator type. I don't think he's going to be a lead guard. So I think you're looking right here now at Mikael Brown, Keaton Vogler, or Darius Acuff. Personally, right now, I think I'm going to go Darius Acuff. I get the defensive question marks. I get the size. But he's just producing at a level that you just can't deny. And I think the questions are valid that people might have, but he's playing so good. He can get to his spots. He is an elite shooter, decent playmaker. I think I think that the Nets need a point guard the most out of anybody. If you're looking for the best point guard in this selection, is going to be Acuff right here at number 6. Next up, we have the Hawks. The Hawks need a guard as well, I think. Nikhil Alexander Walker is cool. Jalen wants Johnson, obviously, he's kind of like your star player right now. CJ's contract is going to be over pretty soon. Where do you go from here? I think you go with Michael Brown. I think while the shooting numbers aren't there, he's a better shooter than the numbers will show. I think he's got scoring potential, right? I don't think he's ever going to be an elite playmaker. He's got scoring potential. They need some outside threat, in my opinion. I think Michael Brown out of Louisville is a good fit for the Hawks here. And that has the Mavericks up next. See, I'm not as high on Wagler. At 7 actually is about right. I probably might have more around 9 or 10 on my board. They need a guard to go with Cooper Flag in the future, I think. But they also have Kyrie Irving still, right? They can still, I think they're a better team than the record shows. They can still compete next year. So maybe you're looking at another wing, that 2 guard position, or the 4 position, or, Gafford, they signed to, but Lively's been injury prone. Do you maybe think about another center here? What do you do? I still think right now Wagler is probably the best choice. He can play shooting guard for you, maybe slide in right next to Kyrie. Um, I really think that he's not going to be a lead guard in the NBA, but he does have potential at the 2 guard off ball guard. He doesn't have the juice, I think, vertically that I would love. I think there's even question marks laterally, but he does have that quick shiftiness to him. So Wagler is a really good player. He can score, one of the best freshmen in the country for Illinois. I am really excited to see how he looks in the tournament. I think there's some players, while you can't evaluate everything in March Madness, I know this. All the tape matters. I do think the stakes in March Madness kind of do highlight and amplify some of the strengths and weaknesses of prospects. And Wagler is one of the players that I'm the most excited to watch in the tournament. I think a team with Kyrie, Wagler, Flag, and then whoever the 4, whether it's Najee, whether it's Cooper, whatever it is, that's a pretty decent team that can be fighting for, the 60 in the Western Conference. So I think this is a good pick for the Mavericks right here. Then the Grizzlies at 9. They need shooting. They need wing play. Jalen Wells, decent player. He's not what you need to start at the 2 to compete. I don't think GG Jackson is what you need at the 4. I like Mullins. I've liked this Mullins fit to the Grizzlies quite a lot. I like Steinbach. I'm very much higher on Steinbach and Gongba than a lot of people. And I'm doing this kind of more of like what I would do for these teams kind of a thing. But I think I'm going to go Braden Burries here. He's going to put pressure on the defense. He can attack the rim. He's got good size, I think, and he can shoot the ball pretty well. They need shooting, and I think if they keep John Morant, they need to find somebody to pair next to John Morant. I think Braden Burries right now is the player. I think he's the best player available, and he kind of fits the needs that the Grizzlies have. So I'm going to go with the Grizzlies getting Braden Burries, knowing they have another pick later on where I think they can get value at that center position. The Bulls need just about everything. I like Mullins here to be the star. Um, this is a tough one because there's a lot of decent players here. I really like Ngongba to kind of fit uh with Josh Giddey to be their center here. They need size. You could so it's between Ngongba or Nate Ament to me. Ament has not been as impressive as you would like, but I still think there is a very, very solid NBA player in there. Good rebounder. You do question the finishing and the overall athleticism for me is a little bit concerning. But I think he has a high, high, high upside. We're gonna go Nate Ament here to the Chicago Bulls. Um, we'll see if he. This could be another swing and miss. It's a weird fit, kind of with you have Essengate, you have Buzelis. But you're gonna add Nate Ament to that. You're gonna see what happens. See which of those players kind of fits that mold. Of those long rangy wing forwards that you got, they're going to keep adding stockpiling to the collection that they already have. And then the Bucks, you go center or you go guard here. I feel like if you're going for upside, if you want to go for winning now, staying with Giannis, you might go Yaxel Lindenberg. That's tough, right? You try to compete. You want. I like Ryan Rollins. Is he the guard that you really want? You can go Phylon here. You can go Christian Anderson. But what I'm gonna do, and I really like this pick. Actually, I'm gonna go Thomas Houck out of Florida. The wing forward player. He can shoot the ball pretty well. He can fit. He can be a good scorer, but he's going to do the little things that you really want for players to fit around Giannis. He's going to be able to shoot the ball, rebound the ball, play defense, be a connecting piece. Thomas Houck, I think, to the Bucks in that mindset, they're trying to keep Giannis trying to still win. The Warriors need also everything, but they're trying to capitalize on Steph Curry, trying to win now, right? I still think they need some size. Kristaps just it didn't work out with the pots and everything. They need some size. Um, I don't think it would be so fun to watch Steve Kerr draw up plays for Steph Curry and Patrick Gungba on the offensive end. Gungba is also an all defensive type player in the ACC. I think he's very underrated, and there's no ceilings. Big board here. I'm gonna go Patrick Gungba to be. I think he was the first center off the board here. So all the way to 12, the Warriors get their center for the future to play around. Curry, his playmaking ability, I think, will allow to take some pressure off of Curry as well. Also, he can learn from Draymond. Although Draymond's not my favorite player, everybody knows this, but he is. You can't deny he does have playmaking. He does have defense. Great person for Patrick Gungba to learn from. The Hornets, man, everybody's loving the Hornets, right? How could you not? And I think this is perfect for them, right? Really, you're looking for that four. You have LaMelo at the one, Con at the two, Miller at the three. Kalkbrenner looks like he could be the five, as well as Diabate is a good rotation right there. You look to replace Miles Bridges in my opinion, and I think Yaxel Lindenborg does that perfectly. Going to come in, going to be able to score, play defense, give you size. He's going to be your four man. Try to fit in, be that last piece to take that step out of good play in fun young team to be a real legit threat out of the Eastern Conference. Thunder here, the Rich can just do whatever they want, right? They need some backup ball handling, I think, is what you might want to look at here, or defensive upside at that center position. I think the person that if you're going for a swing, right, you have Sorber. Who knows what's going to happen there? Um, you could consider acquaintance. I don't think I'm going to go there quite yet. I'm going to go ball handling here, backup guard. LeBaron Philon is going to be that guy. He can play point if you need him to, but he's just a guy to come spell Shea, J Dub when he's there, kind of do that Case and Wallace role, play some point of attack defense. He can really just you can tell that there's not enough scoring threat for the Thunder right now, right? People are sagging off the Dort. People are just really clogging the paint in those games, especially the Spurs, right? Where if Shea can't get in the middle, which he still can do whatever he wants, you need some other threats. I think Phylon can give you that off the bench. Then we got the Thunder right up next. I didn't realize that there was going to be back to back like that. And then it's really between Mullins or Quaintance here. And I think you can make a really good case for either one. I think you're going to go upside pick. They can wait a year to let Jaden Quaintance recover, right? Beginning of the year, he was my number 3 overall prospect. The defensive potential is insane. You still need more depth at the big man position, I think, for the Thunder. You have the ability to take some time to try to develop players. Why not take a swing on Quaintance, a guy that might have gone top 5 if he was able to come back from his injury earlier in the year? And then the Spurs, this is a tough one because I don't know what to do with Koa Pete. He could be that 4 spot here. Um, a backup big could be something behind Wimby, right? Because Olynyk's gone. But they do have Luke Cornett, who's a really good player. Um, I do think it's always pretty hilarious who they put Fanspo at their starting lineups. Like, why is Harrison Ingram, Jeremy Sohan's not even on the team? Why are those guys there? But um, I think they could use a 4-man or just more shooting would be pretty awesome, right? So Braylon Mullins could be there. But I'm gonna go. I think they are in the place where they can go off of draft a good player with Koa Pete. I don't know what his role in the NBA is going to be, but he is a good basketball player. The Spurs are a good basketball team. They're going to find a spot for Koa Pete with this roster. The Raptors need a center badly, but they also need some outside shooting. I like Braylon Mullins here for them. They need more spacing, in my opinion. But just look at this. Do you want to go Mo Johnson, Ade Mara, Hans Steinbach is here? You need a center so badly. I think Heinz Steinbach is a monster. Rebounding, one of the best rebounders in the country. He has phenomenal hands off that pick and roll. I think he's going to be a very solid center in the NBA for a very long time. Raptors get their center right there. The Heat, I think they need a guard badly. They're going to go Christian Anderson, lead guard, can score, play, make, do whatever you need. The Heat, I think, need guard play. Now here are the Grizzlies again. I said I wanted to go center with this selection here, but Braylon Mullins has fallen, and I love the fit of Braylon Mullins. He honestly, I think I could almost took him at 9 over Burries. So getting Mullins right here at 19, I think is a no-brainer for the Grizzlies. They need more outside. They need more shooting. They do. I really believe that they don't have the guys that are really going to be foundational pieces. Um, and Mullins is a really good athlete and good defender as well. So I think Mullins will be a really good fit there in Memphis with the 19th overall pick, especially considering we wanted him at 9. The Hornets are up again. I mean, I like the idea of getting Cameron Carr here, some more scoring. I do like the wings of Amari Allen, Dalen Swain. They have their centers I talked about, I think, but I kind of like the idea of getting another wing or guard here. So I'm going to go Bennett Sturts as the player at the 20. Come in. I don't think he's going to play a huge role, but he can come in, give LaMelo some break, run the offense. Just overall solid point guard. He really can shoot the ball. His usage at Iowa is insane. He's played all their minutes, all the ball handling. Him not having that responsibility, I think, will alleviate a lot of the pressure, and he might be able to explode in the NBA and the 15-20 minutes that he plays for the Charlotte Hornets. Then here, man, Mo Johnson would be such a fun fit, but the Pistons need guard play so bad. So Tyler Tanner is someone that I would really consider here. Ibuka Corey, I really like, but I don't know if that's kind of where he would fit. So Tyler Tanner is a guy I would consider. But then I think Cameron Carr is a guy right here. He's got potential to be a really good, not a really good, but potential to be a decent defender, and he's got scoring upside, right? He can handle the ball a little bit, but he can shoot the ball at a really high rate. The Pistons need somebody other than Cade Cunningham that can handle the ball and give you some outside threat. Cam Carr does that here with pick number 21. The Hawks are back up again. They need some true centers, right? Onyeka Okongwu is a undersized center. So you got Mo Johnson, Chris Sinak, but I think Ade Mara is the guy that you go with right here. Elite rim protector, gives them much needed size, has playmaking upside as well for a center. You love his passing abilities, but Ade Mara here is going to give you that defensive threat that the Hawks have really been lacking for a little bit now. Porzingis looked awesome when he played in the few games, so I think Ade Mara is going to come in, play a similar role, obviously not offensively, but going to be that size, that 7'3" guy that you can kind of play around with. And I think the Hawks really like this selection here at 22. At 23, the Nuggets, a lot of the players I usually like to think about going to them are kind of gone at this point. I really like, they need an upgrade at the other guard position, I think. Are they going to be able to keep Peyton Watson? Cameron Johnson was a little bit of a disappointment, right? All of these things can be true. Mo Johnson would be a fun power forward to maybe replace Aaron Gordon in a few years, but you're still trying to win now. You're still trying to win now. And I think this might be a little bit of an early pick, but I think I like the idea of getting ready to go Dame Sar here to replace Peyton Watson. I like his shooting form. I think there's shooting potential there. I think he has the skills to be an all NBA defender. I think if Peyton Watson goes, Dame Sar is going to be the guy that's going to be able to plug in right away. I think be your Peyton Watson replacement. I'm higher on Sar than a lot of people. I think this is a good selection. I like his fit here in Denver as a cutter, shooting corner threes, and being that elite defender that they need. We got the 76ers up again. You need a center after Embiid. You need another wing. They say point guard. I feel like you're pretty good at guard. You have Maxey, you have Grimes, you have Edgecombe. So maybe another backup guard. I can see you wanting that. But I think this is really just a pretty awesome fit here for Mo Johnson. He can play the power forward or the center, right? Trendon Watford or Jabari Walker have given you good minutes. Adembona is a decent backup, but you don't have a true group. Like, you can definitely upgrade your forward center, your big man depth, right? Your forwards and your centers. I think Mo Johnson is a great fit here. Very, very good rebounder, high energy guy, can really play that role. Doesn't need the ball for himself. Will just play off of Maxey, play off of Edgecombe. Embiid, of course. I think Mo Johnson slides in well with the 76ers. The Lakers, they need better role players. Um, Dwight Howard is not on the like what I've used Fansfo a lot, and it's never been this off. So that's funny. But who knows what's going to happen with LeBron? But you're building around Luka, and I believe they're going to keep Austin Reeves. So you need wings and forwards and big men, right? DeAndre Ayton's going to leave too. So look at the board. You have Dalen Swain, but he's not a shooter. You need more shooting. Isaiah Evans is going to play the two, but can he play the three defensively that you need? Um, I'm not sure. So what I think the best pick right here is going to go center position. You need to upgrade. You need to get that starting center. Chris Sinak is probably the highest upside. You like him as a freshman. Um, but I think you just need a guy that can play with Luka. And what better guy to play with Luka as a lob threat than Flory Badunga? Defensive player of the year, the Big 12. Almost all of his, like, he shoots like 70% because he's just dunking everything, finishing around the rim. What better way to fit in around Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves playing as the pick and roll big man, high energy guy than Badunga here. So I think this is an awesome fit for the Lakers. I really like this fit for Badunga and for the Lakers. The Knicks need a little bit of everything. I think they just need a little bit of dog in them. I know kind of everybody says that. Um, You could use another center, another forward, but I think you can kind of just go with who you think the best fit is and the best player available. I think the best fit, best player available for the Knicks at this spot, because I do like Tyler Kolek, Jose Alvarado. They're good at the guard. They're good at the wings ish, but you can always add to that. Dalen Swain, right? A lot has been put on him at Texas. He has shooting concerns, but he has unreal off the bounce potential for a wing. So I think this is a guy that you can really put in, be your second or third option at the 3 or the 4, come in, and be an option for the Knicks when they need them to be. The Celtics, I'm going to go Chris Sinak here. They need some big man a little bit. Vucevic is going to be gone. Kata has been awesome, but young guy in Sinak who has a lot of potential. Very, very, very good rebounder. Weird shot selection, but I think that'll come along with time, right? He's only 19 years old at the time of the draft. Chris Sinak here to the Celtics. He's a guy I could see going lottery. So if you get him at 27, that's a no-brainer for me. Timberwolves, they need guard play badly, badly, badly. A real point guard. Is that real point guard here? I don't really know if it is, right? If you're looking at the board, um, is there that guy that you really believe in to be the guard next to Anthony Edwards? Probably not. your starting uh franchise point guard, but I think Tyler Tanner here is good value. Size question marks, but Dante DiVincenzo can come in, be that guard with Edwards, and then Tyler Tanner comes in, right? Obviously, Rob Dillingham didn't work out, but Tyler Tanner here, one of the best players in the country, crazy sophomore leap, comes in, then gives you help at that guard position. Cavaliers, I think they need some help on the wing. Amari Allen, I really like. I would like some more shooting, though. I'm going to go Isaiah Evans. I just want more shooting out there. And I think uh, this is my personal belief. You have Spida, you have James Harden that can play and take so much attention off of these guys. You have your big men in Allen and Mobley. Why not just surround the people that are going to take so much attention with the Sam Merrills, the Jalen Tysons, and Isaiah Evans to add to that? Just be snipers on the outside on that perimeter. Then with the last pick in the first round, we have the Mavericks. We got Keaton Wagler, the first pick. I think this is a good spot right now for Amari Allen as well. I like a Corey. Do you want to go center? Right, I talked about Mo Krivas could be a good center. I think would be a good fit if Derek Lively's not your guy. But I think Amari Allen here. I think there's huge potential for him to be a really good defensive wing in the NBA. You obviously you're always going to want to see these guys become better scorers, but overall, Amari Allen going to be a very good defender. Gives you high energy. He can play the 3 or the 4 for you next to Coop, and I think this is a really good fit for the Mavericks. So there you have it. There's my pre-March Madness mock draft. Please comment below what you guys think. What would you do? What would you guys change? Who did I snub? Who did I let fall? All those things. Can't wait to hear from you guys. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on March Madness and give my thoughts on March Madness. Hope you have a good one. Peace.